For those who feel the Toyota Highlander is just a little bit too small to use as a three-row crossover on a regular basis, I give you the Grand Highlander. I'm Tom Bolt for the Seattle International Auto Show, and this is a first look from the Big Island of Hawaii. Pricing when it hits showrooms this summer?
The starting MSRP of just over $43,000 for the gas model, impressive fuel efficiency for the hybrid for $1,600 more, and brag-worthy performance for under $55,000 for the Hybrid Max model. It's going to be produced in the U.S. exclusively at Toyota Motor Manufacturing in Princeton, Indiana.
In many cases, this is just $1,000 or $2,000 more than Highlander Classic, but the bigger one isn't available in lower grades. How much grander is this over the standard Highlander? Well, keep in mind, this is built on the same architecture. It's about 6 inches longer, 2 inches wider and higher, with a wheelbase stretched by some 4 inches. It's definitely a size up. It uses the same front suspension. The rear is different to carve more room out of the third row. It looks quite different from Highlander. The rear haunches on the side are smoothed over. Overall, the design is cleaner and simplified, a language that Toyota designers are gravitating to. I'll encourage that. The Grand has the look of a grown-up RAV4 that's become a more responsible family man. You'll be cross-shopping Buick Enclave, Chevy Traverse, Honda Pilot, Hyundai Palisade, Kia Telluride, Nissan Pathfinder, and Volkswagen Atlas. None of those, including the regular Highlander, offer powertrain choices like the Grand. The base engine is a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4 that makes 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Available in front or all-wheel drive, it shifts with an 8-speed. The standard hybrid is good for 245 horses. With optional all-wheel drive, electric motors move the rear wheels. There's no drive shaft to the back. Then there's the Hybrid Max powertrain, first installed in the Crown sedan. It's what I'm focusing on in a Platinum model. The Turbo 4 from the base engine is augmented by electric motors embedded in a 6-speed transmission. Strictly all-wheel drive with the back tires driven by electric motors. Total system power is 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, a significant bump in power, good for hauling lots of people and gear. Again, the Hybrid Max does its cog swaps with a 6-speed. Manual shifts are a thing, so are drive modes. Chances are owners will leave it in auto, but there are options if families get overly adventurous. Ground clearance is 8 inches. If performance is important, the standard hybrid hits 60 miles an hour in just under 8 seconds. The Turbo 4 takes 7.5. This is the Hybrid Max. It does it in 6.3. It can scoot. The Hybrid Max equipped Grand Highlander weighs about 4,900 pounds. It feels pretty darn good off the line, and punch it. I don't know if you can see it, the front end rises a little bit, so it just looks powerful. And while a strong engine note comes through when the pedal is dropped hard, it's generally quiet. Active noise cancellation, plus laminated acoustical glass in the windshield and front side windows is standard. The driving dynamics are exactly what they should be for a vehicle like this. It's comfortable, that long wheelbase doesn't hurt. It's relatively quiet, this is kind of a rough road. Plus, there's no micro corrections. Steering is locked down on center. Steering is on the light side. This would be a great road trip vehicle for the family. The Big Island's roads have some broken pavement. With no passengers or cargo, the rear suspension skittered a bit over that, but the architecture that Toyota says is strengthened using additional spot welds and adhesives remains solid. And Grand doesn't feel substantially bigger than the smaller version from behind the wheel. The powertrain is super smooth. You'd have to pay close attention to notice any gear shifts. I mean, this is Toyota. It knows how to do hybrid powertrains. And the brake pedal feel when transitioning from regenerative to the actual physical brakes is excellent. And the pedal feel is nice and firm. Want the best fuel economy? Then go with the standard hybrid with an average of 34 miles per gallon for both front and all-wheel drive. The Turbo 4 scores 24 with front drive, 23 with all-wheel drive. The Hybrid Max averages 27 mpg. It uses the electric motors for power. All Grand Highlanders come with a solid suite of ADAS technology that's dubbed Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 that includes stuff like automatic emergency braking and adaptive cruise with an improved, smoother operation. There's an emergency driving stop system that can detect a driver that's not responsive, think medical emergency, and can stop the vehicle automatically.
In addition to all of that safety tech, the Platinum here can be had with traffic jam assist, so at speeds under 25 miles an hour, it kind of takes over driving duties, which is great if you're a stressed out parent.
It should come as no surprise that I prefer the Hybrid Max powertrain to the Turbo 4 and standard hybrid system. It just feels more confident charging up the hills of the Big Island. It'll tow 5,000 pounds, which is the same as the gas-only model. The standard hybrid's towing limit is 3,500 pounds. I switch between a Limited with a black cabin and this Platinum. I highly prefer the Portobello color interior. Black might hide dirt better, but this is more calming. Platinum's heated and vented leather seats are trimmed with ultra suede for a richer look. Accents are bronze. There's a good amount of cubbies to stash the kinds of things that families need as they travel from surfing to hula dancing classes, activities that aren't just limited to Hawaii. Remember, sunscreen is important everywhere. Nearly every seat gets a USB port nearby. Cup holders?
You'll find 13 cup and bottle holders around the cabin, ensuring no one goes without space for their juice or their double espresso caramel macchiato with extra foam. The first row's center console even has a bottle holder large enough to fit a hydro flask or a gas station mega soda cup.
The Platinum comes with enough cameras to shoot both Magnum PI and Hawaii 5.0. A wireless charge pad is standard, same with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. There are enough hard buttons, so the touchscreen isn't used for everything, and Toyota's new user interface is geared towards using mostly natural voice prompts, so eyes stay on the road.
Hey Toyota,
What do you want to do?
is there any good shave ice nearby?
I found 15 results. The first is Mauna Kea Tropical Treats at Waimea.
Full functionality requires a data plan subscription, though, that includes smartphone digital key ability. Moving into the section where parents will seldom ever ride, Grand Highlander gets standard captain's chairs. A bench is available on some, but not all versions, so it'll seat either 7 or 8. There's a lot of adjustments here. Passengers should find more than enough room, though leave some space for those in the wayback. Lots of power options for charging electronics. The floor is flat. Hawaiians may not need heated seats very often, but vented seats in row 2 will help keep sweat off of board shorts and aloha shirts. This console can be removed so kids can scamper through to the third row. As expected, this is a thing. There's a big wide footstep, and even with 8 inches of ground clearance, it's fairly easy for even small kids to hike themselves up and into the back.
I'm 5'9" and I'm in the middle position, which is raised up a little bit, and I still have enough headroom. Over there, I have a little bit more. Really, if you're going to use the third row on a regular basis, you're going to want the Grand Highlander, okay? Even knee, leg, and foot room is okay. It really is. Usually this is the penalty box.
FYI, the mid-row seats are slid about midway. It's amazing how much of a difference there is between this and the regular Highlander, and this space is more usable than the larger Sequoia. Toyota says this 20.6 cubic foot space is good for 7 carry-on suitcases. There's storage under here and a spare tire under this panel. Would be nice to have bag hooks and motorized backs. Petite owners might have issues raising them. As it stands, it's pretty easy to drop them. At this point, there's 58 cubic feet to fill. All seats down, it's just over 97 cubes and probably long enough to get surfboards in. Once Highlander loyalists get a look at this grander version, I expect a lot of converts. The Grand Highlander is arriving in the summer of 2023. Check in with your local Toyota dealership for a test drive. I can see this being very popular. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Volk.